This is your official WWE Extreme Rules review here on the JBSN Media Network YouTube channel. Jeff here with you. It took place from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the home of Extreme, as we would find out throughout the evening, but not really. They had two matches on the pre-show. The first match was for the Intercontinental title. Finn Balor put that title up on the line against Shinsuke Nakamura. They had a non-title match earlier in the week on SmackDown, in which Nakamura won in non-title action. This was a solid match to kick it off. I thought they could have given it a little bit more time. Both guys look good here. Nakamura continuing his more aggressive attitude since going back to being singles and getting away from the tag team stuff. My pick was Nakamura to win, and sure enough, in 7 minutes and 42 seconds, Shinsuke Nakamura won the match. He hit the Kinshasa on Finn Balor and got the win, and he's the new Intercontinental title holder. I have no problem with that. To me, Finn Balor's run as champion was pretty bland for me. So hopefully Shinsuke can do something with the title here, and I had no issue with him winning the title. The other match on the pre-show was for the WWE Cruiserweight title, of course, because that's where it all gets relegated to. Drew Gulak, Philadelphia's own Drew Gulak, put his title on the line against Tony Nese here. I thought this was a good match again. Solid stuff here from these guys. I thought the crowd could have been a little bit more into it. I thought the action here was pretty well done. To me, the outcome was never in doubt here. I expected Gulak was going to retain, and sure enough, he did. He won with his Cyclone finisher at 7 minutes and 26 seconds. He pinned Tony Nese. Nese looked good here in defeat, but Gulak is still the champ, so they're going to probably keep the title on him for a while. So Drew Gulak retains the title. On to the main show itself. It started off with the no-holds-barred match. We had The Undertaker and Roman Reigns teaming up for the first time ever. They took on Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre here. They gave this match plenty of time. This match pretty much went the way I figured it was going to. Roman and Drew carried most of the match, though. The Undertaker and Shane would get in from time to time to do their stuff. Undertaker, he did get old school. He got it on Shane, so he had that. But Shane also got his stuff, and he at one point had the Undertaker on the table, and he did the elbow off the top rope onto the announce table, and then he actually hit coast to coast on the Undertaker as well. So Undertaker giving a lot of offense for Shane here. But in the end, to no surprise, at 16 minutes and 55 seconds, the Undertaker wins for his team. He pinned Shane McMahon after hitting the Tombstone Power Driver. So the right outcome here, but I'm actually shocked that Shane took the pin here. I figured Drew was going to be the one taking it, but Shane took the pinfall loss for the team, and the Undertaker and Roman Reigns got the win. Next up was for the WWE Raw Tag Team titles. We had Dawson and Wilder, the Revival, as your champions. They put the titles on the line against the Usos. I thought this was okay, decent match. Nothing really special about it. Just some great workers here doing some good stuff here. Revival dominated for a while. Typical stuff. The Usos make the comeback, but they got cut off in the end. Eventually, the Revival win after hitting the Shatter Machine on Jey Uso for the win and retaining the Raw Tag Team titles, which was the proper outcome. That was my pick, so they got the win at 12 minutes and 34 seconds. The next match on the card was Aleister Black finally making his re-debut here. He took on Cesaro here. Good stuff here from these guys. The crowd was definitely into this match. I knew this was going to be a good match because Cesaro is a great worker and Aleister Black's a great worker. Crowd definitely into it, more so for Aleister Black. Cesaro got his heat in for a while, but Aleister Black, he was my pick, and sure enough, he does win at 9 minutes and 49 seconds. He won the match. He hit the Black Mass on Cesaro for the win. So having him win was the right move because you figure he did all those vignettes, and you weren't going to have him come on and lose to Cesaro. Cesaro is a good worker, but Cesaro didn't need the win, so Aleister Black gets the win here. Next up was the 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE SmackDown Women's title. Bayley was defending that title in 2-on-1 handicap action against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Alexa Bliss was here. She was reportedly suffering from a sinus infection. That's what's been keeping her off television here recently, but she was here. Looked pretty good. She definitely looked pretty good. I guess her sinus infection has since calmed down, so she got involved in the match here. Nikki Cross, they did the classic 2-on-1 beatdown, though. They weren't both in the ring at the same time. Bayley took a lot of the offense from Bliss and Cross for a while. Bayley had some hope spots in throughout. But eventually, in the end, and of course, to no surprise, Bayley does win. She does retain the title, which was my pick. So at 10 minutes and 22 seconds, she won the match after hitting the elbow drop off the top rope on the Nikki Cross. So they protect Alexa Bliss here, and they beat Nikki Cross. Now, I was waiting to see what they were going to do after the match. I was waiting to see if we would get a beatdown from Bliss and Cross. Nope, that never happened. I was waiting to see maybe if we have a special someone, a legit boss, Sasha Banks, see if she would come down. Nope. Not even Charlotte Flair. Nope. No runouts from anyone. No beatdown after the match. Bayley just left holding the title and she left. Felt kind of flat. Kind of disappointing. I thought for sure they were telegraphing that Sasha Banks was going to be here. They were playing it up on TV and they were playing it up on the pay-per-view especially. I was waiting for it, but it just never happened. We know Sasha's coming back. She's been training, so again, it's just a matter of time. They didn't pull the trigger here, so they do have a Raw reunion show that's coming up in about a week or so. So we'll see if she might be there. Maybe she's going to be on Raw this week. Of course, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we already know the answer to that. But yeah, we have that. Next up was the last man standing match. Braun Strowman took on Bobby Lashley. This was, I thought, a great match. This was one of the best matches of the entire night. This match was a lot better than anyone thought it was going to be, including yours truly. Sure enough, they did brawl all over the arena. They did not stay at ringside. They went through the crowd a couple of times here. They actually went out into the lobby for some spots here. They had this one spot where Lashley was out there, and he, I think it was, well, one of them got thrown through the merchandising table. I forget who took that. I think it was Lashley putting Strowman through it, or it may have been the other way. But yeah, we had that. That was a cool visual. They were definitely fighting through the crowd, but my pick was Strowman to win, and sure enough, he does win the match at 17 minutes and 30 seconds. So they gave this match plenty of time as well. Strowman won the last man standing match after he power slammed Lashley through a platform that was set up there in the arena, in the crowd there. So yeah, this was a cool visual. Power slammed him through this. Looked like both men were dead. Strowman, though, with a cool visual, punching through this wooden board here to come out to show that he was up. And then Lashley never got up, so he won the match. So that was pretty good stuff here. I thought this was outstanding. So we had that. Next up was the WWE SmackDown Tag Team title match in triple threat style. We had Bryan and Rowan defending the titles against Big E and Xavier, the New Day, and Heavy Machinery. My prediction was that we would get a tag team title switch here, and it did happen. I thought this was a great match. Rowan showing his strength there. He dominated, especially on the New Day, and not so much with Heavy Machinery, but he did his stuff on the New Day for a while. I thought the psychology of this match was great. Heavy Machinery, I thought, looked great here as well. They were definitely getting some major rub here. I thought Heavy Machinery was going to win the titles. They did not win the titles, but we did get the title change as I figured we would. And I'll tell you why in a second. But in the end, at 13 minutes and 59 seconds, Big E pinned Daniel Bryan after Big E and Xavier had hit the midnight hour. So Daniel Bryan takes the pinfall loss here. Again, Daniel Bryan, he has this thing where he doesn't mind doing jobs. It really doesn't bother him. He's a team player. He'll do whatever it's asked. And he's very quiet about it. So the reason why I figured they were losing the titles here, because to me Daniel Bryan should be more prominently featured. He should be in the mix for the WWE title, as would be my opinion. So if not that, maybe put him in the conversation for the Intercontinental title, but he should be in the mix for the WWE title. That's my opinion. So Big E and Xavier won the match, and they are the tag team champions for the 6th time, so congratulations to them. Next up was the match for the WWE United States title. We had Ricochet putting the title on the line against AJ Styles. The Good Brothers were out there with him, Anderson and Gallows. So I knew it was going to be an outstanding match, and it was outstanding indeed. Both guys worked very hard. I thought the crowd could have been a little bit better for this. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but they gave this match plenty of time as well. Just some great stuff here. AJ dominating most of the match. He, of course, being the heel now. He dominated on Ricochet for a while. Ricochet makes the comeback. He gets cut off in the end. Looked like Ricochet was going to win the match. He had hit the shooting star press on the Styles, but Styles' foot was underneath the rope. That's a story they've told the other way around a few weeks ago when Styles had challenged on Raw. I think it was on Monday Night Raw against Ricochet at the time, and Ricochet's foot was under the ropes. This time they reversed it, and I think one of the Good Brothers pointed it out to the referee, and that pretty much turned the whole match around. Styles eventually went on the win in 16 minutes and 23 seconds. He pinned Ricochet with the Styles Clash off the middle rope, a fantastic looking one. And AJ Styles is the new U.S. champion. I thought Ricochet was going to retain here. I didn't think he should have been losing the title this quick, but sure enough, they put the title on AJ, so they're obviously giving him the rub. And he really doesn't need the rub. He doesn't need to be the champion for me to be over. He's already over without the title, but I guess this is their way of rewarding him, so we had that. Next up, we had Kevin Owens taking on Dolph Ziggler here in the match. You talk about an ultimate squash. That's exactly what we got here. Kevin Owens, this baby face now, the everyman's baby face, saying what the people were thinking, especially on social media. This match went 17 seconds. I had it at 17 seconds. He beat Dolph Ziggler with the stunner and pinned him in 17 seconds. That's really all there is to it. He made very quick work of him, and he got on the microphone and cut a basic similar promo to what he did on television, basically backing up everything he said on SmackDown, so we had that. Next up was for the WWE title. We had Kofi Kingston putting the title in the line against Samoa Joe. Again, I thought this was a decent match. I thought it could have been better, and I thought they could have given this match more time. I was very shocked at how little time they actually gave this match. Samoa Joe dominated for a while on Kofi, as you figured he would. Kofi makes the comeback, and at 9 minutes and 44 seconds, that's all it went. Kofi retained the title. He hit Trouble in Paradise on Samoa Joe and got the win and retained. So every member of the New Day is holding a title now, so we had that. And then finally, in your main event for the winner-take-all Extreme Rules mixed tag match for the WWE NBC Universal title and the Raw Women's title, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch put those titles on the line against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Again, the stipulation if Corbin and Evans were to lose, they would never get to challenge Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch for their titles again. The weapons did come into play here. There wasn't a whole lot of weapon use. I mean, it was kind of scattered out a little bit throughout the show, but it wasn't really as prevalent as I thought it would be. The weapons definitely came into play here. Kendo sticks were used here by Lynch and Rollins initially. Eventually, Corbin and Lacey used the weapons. We had a spot in which Corbin and Lacey went through tables on the outside. That was a nice visual. And then eventually we got back into it, and then they did a deal where they were beating down Seth for a while, and then something that was very interesting. I kind of knew it in the back of my mind. I didn't know if they were going to do it, but they actually did it here. There wasn't a whole lot of intergender stuff here. There was a spot in which Becky had hit a drop kick on Baron Corbin, who was holding a chair, so we had that. And then we had Lacey beating Rollins with the stick. But the big spot that everyone was talking about was Baron Corbin actually delivering the end of days on Becky Lynch. And once I saw that, that was kind of a red flag because I knew something was up and we would find out sure enough what it was. I didn't know if they were going to do it here, but they actually did it. That essentially eliminated her, and once Seth saw that, he hulked up basically when he went Seth-mania on Baron. He just beat the living hell out of him with shots, with the kendo, and then eventually he delivered 3 curb stomps on him and actually pinned Baron Corbin. So they retained the titles, at least for the moment. Then right after that, we hear that familiar music, and sure enough, Brock Lesnar does come out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman had cut a promo earlier in the show saying that maybe Brock was going to be there to cash in on one of them, and sure enough, Brock does come out here, so he was there. So, and he does cash in on Rollins. He hit the big German suplex, and then eventually he got the F5 and pinned him. Rollins loses the title, and Brock Lesnar goes off the air as the WWE NBC Universal title as they go off the air. So, again, I know people not happy with that, but, you know, that's what they did here. And that only went 15 seconds after the other match went 20 minutes and 2 seconds. My official report card grade for this event, I give it a B. Very solid, not perfect, but to me it was fine for what it was. So that is your official WWE Extreme Rules review right here on YouTube.